mumbo jumbo thing. I've been here long enough. I can identify it when I see it, and I'm seeing it this morning.
Remember, Jack, if we're seeking, may we have this matter be referred to the legal officer who would, in these circumstances,
well, I would...
Member, let me just, to answer your question, so the allegations are unfair dismissal.
We will indeed continue to monitor the developments as Central Manchester Member of Parliament Peter Bunting has tabled some questions to Dr. Andrew Wheatley, the Energy Minister, and we are awaiting those responses. Archie, it's back to you.
Thank you, Andrea. Now, in the meantime, the future of Petrojam could be in jeopardy if the refinery does not upgrade its plant by December 2019. The revelation was made yesterday by the head of the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ, Winston Watson. Mr. Watson was answering questions at Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC. TVJ's Vashon Brown explains.
Roughly half of Petrojam's revenue comes from the sale of heavy fuel oil, HFO. Currently, HFO is primarily sold to the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, for use in its power plants and to ships for fuel. The challenge is that the JPS has been switching from HFO to liquefied natural gas LNG. It has done so already at Bogue in St. James and will do so next year at its plant at Old Harbour in St. Catherine. Ships could also stop using the fuel.
You're looking at 400 and odd megawatts of electricity that is driven by HFO or heavy fuel oil being taken away from the sales of Petrojam.
Head of the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ, Winston Watson, says Petrojam is working on a project to cushion the impact.
The first phase is to take that HFO, run it through a distillation unit, and we would produce asphalt. That asphalt we can utilize here as well. We can export it. There isn't many asphalt refineries in the region.
But PAAC member Philip Paulwell wanted to know when the upgrade will be completed.
LNG is here, and by next year end, you are going to have over 400 megawatts of capacity being driven by LNG. When is that timeline? You have been warning me from 2002 that the refinery is going to be shut. Now that LNG is a reality, when is that timeline on us?
The theoretical timeline when we're going to start get badly affected would be December 2019. That's a theoretical timeline.
Mr. Watson says the immediate aim is to complete design work, among other things.
If come December 2019, you are not able to transform sufficiently to push new products rather than heavy fuel oil, you are going to be in trouble.
Yes, but Minister, MP. You're correct, but you have to remember there are some things we can do that will allow us to continue operating the business if we are not fully converted.
Petrojam hopes to find more ships to supply with the heavy fuel oil. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
It's propaganda, and I wouldn't do anything wrong to jeopardize my empire. The sentiment of popular entertainer Capleton this evening after his rape case came up for mention in court today. Capleton has maintained his innocence and has described the circumstances as a test. TVJ's Andrea Chisholm reports.
A walk of confidence from Clifton Bailey, popularly known as Capleton, as he left the St. Andrew Parish Court Thursday morning. Family members and colleagues, including a flagman, formed part of the entourage.
I've been good, I've always have my head high because, you know what I mean, I know in life there will be obstacles and stumbling block and turmoil. That is a part of the struggle. That won't make we lose faith and that won't deter we from the good. You know, in life everybody will face them tests and them trials and them tribulation. These are they who pass through great tribulation and never stoop and never bow, you know what I mean?
It's his second court appearance to answer to rape charges. His bail was extended until July 13 when he's expected to return to court. June 21 is however dubbed Disclosure Day. By that time, the prosecution should give Capleton's lawyer the evidence they have against him. But it appears the fireman is not afraid of the heat.
I have a track record, people know Capleton, you know what I mean, a good we do all over the years, you understand me? I say, I have a big charity event where I support school, hospital, you know what I mean, I wouldn't do nothing wrong, you know what I mean, after I work so hard to build my empire over 30 odd years, you know what I mean? So for me, I good over evil, you know, the people don't know what's happening already.
Capleton is accused of forcibly having sex with a hairdresser he hired to groom his hair at a hotel in New Kingston on April 28. His attorney Christopher Townsend argues that the complainant is being investigated for extortion, adding that there are voice notes and messages to back up the claims. So, how has the court case affected the entertainer's work schedule?
Show them going fine. I just came back from Trinidad. It was awesome. Me, Sizzler and Barrington Levy and Busy Signal. So loud. The people, you know, everyone in Trinidad believe in Capleton and I believe in the people. You know what I mean? So propaganda going to be a part of the thing. You know what I say? People will say the darnest thing and the weirdest thing just to achieve money, which is the root of all evil. You know what I mean?
Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
Our top story this evening, 2 employees of the National Energy Solutions charged in corruption probe involving the seizure of $35 million. Still ahead, judge me on my work. Police Commissioner pledges to push through changes in the JCF. And in business news, US dollar reaches new high. The government says it's not worried. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Continuing the news. The business community in St. Catherine is this evening questioning the actions of the security forces to increase operations in the area covered by the state of emergency. The Chamber of Commerce says they received several complaints about traffic in the area, but as it turns out, the security forces are defending their actions, arguing that the move is strategic. TVJ's Anthony Lugg has this primetime news follow-up.
A nightmare. That's how residents in the St. Catherine North Police Division described the traffic situation over the last 3 days. On Monday, our news team aired a story which pointed to unmanned checkpoints in the state of emergency. Here's what the ground commander, Senior Superintendent Gary Griffiths, said about whether operations had scaled down.
We have moved persons from the general vehicle checkpoints, and we are utilizing them for targeted raid and other activities. But the points are still in place. Maybe the number is not as large as it used to be.
But to our surprise, all has changed. Since Tuesday, the security forces intensified searches and it's causing major traffic delays. President of the St. Catherine Chamber of
TVJ did something that they possibly is retaliating. My words, that they have now stepped up to another level. And if there is something afoot, the police and the security forces need to let the public know so at least we can be prepared and understand what is happening.
No, it was not a part of the report. Mm-hmm. In fact, I know many persons even saw that clipping. Mm-hmm. What's happening is that we were in the inner space, the inner corridors of the division conducting operation, which would have required additional numbers. Mm-hmm. And we have to make a decision. Our posture has to change based on the kind of intelligence we're getting.
Mr. Robotham also pointed to what may be causing the traffic pileup.
If you are now doing extra searches or more diligent searches or checks, then you should have more personnel that at least you can, deal with more motorists at one time, rather than the few that is usually there.
So with those concerns, we sought answers from Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang at his post-sectorial debate briefing on Wednesday.
From time to time, they have to, in fact, literally take a harder line at the checkpoints to just remind the public, not only the public we are there, but the criminals who are moving through, who will begin to take chances because they think that nobody was there. You'll catch them in the run.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
The Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, has given us the clearest indication so far of his plans for the direction of the police force. In his first major interview since assuming office, Major General Anderson spoke on TVJ's All Angles of plans to improve responsiveness to the public, conviction rates, and using technology in the fight against crime. TVJ's Giovanni Dennis reports.
In 1 year's time,
we should continue to see crime trending downwards.
That commitment from Major General Anthony Anderson, Jamaica's 5th Commissioner of Police in the last 10 years. So far, the trend has shown murders are down 8% up to June 9. 610 persons have been killed this year compared with 661 during the corresponding period last year. Low conviction rates are a sore point to be tackled as well. General Anderson insists the public will soon see improvements with the police making better use of DNA legislation and forensics. Also on his to-do list, doing better at dealing with complaints from the public.
But I need to be able to track what the public thinks and make it easy for people to say, okay, this happened to me, and fill out some, not really a form, but a mechanism and a portal through which they can let us know what's going on. It also allows me to track what happens to that complaint.
He also wants to get rid of outdated things like the big diaries used to take statements at police stations.
Work has been going on for about a year on this. So now we're getting to the point where we'll start to set the priorities for rollout. And obviously the big book replacement is a big priority area for us.
He says he will also make promotions more transparent. With all these plans, the Commissioner reasoned there will be one key indicator by which he should be judged.
If our people don't feel safer, then I failed.
Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
It appears that more people are moving to St. Mary from Ocho-Rios St. Anne for economic reasons. And as we found out, the ride back to work in the Garden Parish is frustrating due to traffic issues. But the cause of the traffic could surprise you, as TVJ's Janella Precious reports.
Sometimes I'll jump asleep.
Traffic backed up for miles, and it's not because of road work. Instead, motorists traveling along the St. Mary to Ocho-Rios main road are being impeded by traffic lights. They're functioning but problematic.
What I have to do is try to regulate my time, because sometimes when I come out very early, I'm stuck in traffic from all the way up by the beach, all the way that end. When I come out late, I reach further down.
It's a journey which would normally take 3 minutes, but because of issues with the timing of the lights switching from green to red, it now takes roughly half an hour. That and
more persons are living in the St. Mary area because it's more affordable, so more persons have to travel into Ocho-Rios. Children need to go to school. Persons are complaining about, business places in Ocho-Rios are complaining about the time people are coming to work in the mornings. I'm having the same problem also.
President of the St. Anne Chamber of Commerce, Pixley Iron, says it's also proving to be dangerous.
There are accidents that are being happening on the road. The taxis who have to carry the people to and fro. What does that mean is that their people are telling we need to move, we need to go in, so they are driving and making third lane, or they are driving on the south shoulder to get people to work on time.
We sought a response from the manager for communications and customer service at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw.
It is a situation that we are aware of. It would appear that more persons have moved away from St. Anne into St. Mary, and when you look at the developments that have happened in recent times on the St. Mary side of St. Anne, then it's a good indication as to why it is we now have had to be considering some changes to the timings that we have at that particular junction.
He's promising adjustments will be made to allow for more green time during peak hours.
And the traffic signals function substantially well during the periods outside of the morning peak. So those timings will remain, but the morning peak timings will be changed.
If all goes well, the changes will take effect over the weekend. Janella Precious, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Shaw acknowledged that there are also issues with the functioning of the traffic lights near the Ocho-Rios police station.
We could have opted to turn off the signal, but then that would have impacted the other area along Development Road. And so we took a decision not to turn off the signals because, as I said, it is one box that controls both of these points. We intend to have the cable issue resolved in short order. We have some equipment problems, and we are hoping that these problems will be resolved within another week or so.
Managing Director of Carreras, Marcus Steele, is calling for the government to roll back the tax on cigarettes in an effort to curtail the illegal trade. He was speaking against the background of the 890 boxes of fake cigarettes seized in Westgate Hills, St. James on Tuesday. TVJ's Kalisha Williams reports.
Fake or not fake? It's very hard to tell the difference by simply looking at these cigarettes, but these are all counterfeit. The illicit trade is big in Jamaica, and legal operators continue to suffer. Managing Director of Carreras, Marcus Steele, says fake cigarettes are being sold at half the cost of legal ones. He believes the government should cut tobacco taxes to reduce the incentives to buying counterfeits.
Last year, when the government increased the excise by $3 per stick, the intention was to increase revenue by over 800 million. And what happened is that not only did the government didn't get the 800 million, they lost almost $1 billion compared to what they would have received in the previous fiscal year. That is bad taxation policy.
That tax is placed on items like cigarettes, which are deemed harmful for society.
Foreign bodies in the illegal cigarettes, such as feces, dead insects, yes, and other foreign bodies that we can't even identify what they are. These are what our consumers are smoking. And this is an issue that we need to protect our consumers from these things. And the health argument cannot hold, especially if those things are being found in the products that are being smoked where the government has no visibility.
He was speaking against the background of the 890 boxes of counterfeit cigarettes seized by the narcotics police in St. James on Tuesday.
What baffles me as well with this find is how can one container load of cigarette walk through the wharf? How can that be?
In the meantime, a release from the communications arm of the JCF revealed the cigarettes are estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It says one man was arrested and is to be questioned in the presence of his attorney. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
Mongrels taken off the nation's streets are being given a new lease on life. One organization in Montego Bay, St. James is helping to connect foreigners with mongrel dogs. More from TVJ's Jeline Pearson with part 2 of her special report.
Many Jamaicans have called for the government to move them to pounds, but that has not been done.
Government should have somewhere, somebody like, or you watch a TV and see them care for them dog. Government should have somewhere where them take them off the road, give them injection. Somebody want, you have people love dogs. If there's somebody need a dog or a puppy, then can go to that place, get one for themselves, so you know them have them teeth clean, them injection, them regular bathe.
Tammy Brownie has been the owner and operator of the Montego Bay Animal Haven in Adelphi, St. James for the last decade. It's a shelter which caters to abandoned, lost and stray animals. Miss Brownie started the shelter as a hobby, but then it became a full-time job. After finding it difficult to fund the shelter, she turned to Animal Angels for help. For her, these dogs are not mongrels. She calls them Royal Caribbean Terriers. Using social media, Miss Brownie sought what she calls forever homes for the dogs. So far, she has paired more than 500 dogs with families abroad.
Next Stop Home is the group of people, amazing volunteers who work hard to get these animals into homes through Baypath, and we've been sending them up every 2 weeks.
Once unloved and unwanted, these dogs, like many Jamaicans, now live a better life abroad. Jamaica is rabies-free, which makes overseas adoption even easier for tourists wishing to adopt mongrels.
I mean, it's really, you have a health certificate, then you have to go and see the government vet who issues another certificate, which then goes up to the trade board place, which send an export license down, and then that's it.
But how do Jamaicans feel about foreigners adopting local dogs?
I don't business if the white man want yam him or the Englishman want come and carry me. It's no trouble.
But you know, bad than us Jamaicans, you know, say our country and somebody out of our next country come and take care of our animals and what we are doing. That is very bad, and the government now look on that. They only want the tourists to come in, collect them money and sit down, and then help take care of we out here.
Private veterinarian Dr. Paul Cadogan is supportive of the idea.
So the matter of visitors coming and taking dogs abroad, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And those dogs are very, very lucky, and we have to be very, very happy for them. They lived a very hard life here, and they have been taken up there. They got their medical care, they get all the medical checks and the necessary tests done that are required by the other country that they're going to, and they go and they live a life. No visa required.
Miss Brownie says overseas adoption was just an added bonus. Her ultimate goal is to educate people and improve the living conditions of mongrels across the island.
I just think everybody needs to follow their passion, whether it's animals, kids, whatever, and just make everywhere around you a better place.
Jeline Pearson, TVJ News.
Time now for the responses from our friends on Facebook and Twitter. And Archie is at the smartboard.
Yeah, I was wondering how many people would respond to this, and apparently a lot. And here's this that I'm talking about. The question is, would you adopt a mongrel dog? Why or why not? Here's the first comment. No, I would not adopt a mongrel dog. I believe in the saying, sorry for maga dog in Tom Run, bite you. Here's the second. No, 2 stray, 1 text at my yard. Right now, my slippers can't stay on the veranda. Plus a mess everywhere, says that person. Another comment. Sure, I would adopt a mongrel dog. In fact, I have one. They always appreciate you, and once you treat them well, they will fight for you. Another. I believe that a dog has many rights as a child, and that includes love, affection, and a good support system. Dogs are man's best